From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. Senator Bernie Sanders said on Tuesday that the Biden administration must follow the Canadian government in halting arms exports to Israel. Sanders said the Canadian Parliament was absolutely right on Monday to approve a non-binding resolution to stop weapons exports to Israel. Lawmakers voted 204 to 117 in favor of the motion after a lengthy debate. Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly has announced a halt to all arms shipments to Israel. Israel has used explosives, ammunition, and other equipment supplied by the U.S., Canada, Germany, and other countries to kill more than 31,800 people in Gaza in less than 6 months. Israel has killed over 100 aid workers in Gaza over the last 8 days. The World Health Organization reports 410 attacks on healthcare facilities since October, resulting in numerous fatalities and injuries. According to the UN, the attacks have killed 685 people, injured 902, and damaged 99 facilities, severely impacting emergency services, with 104 ambulances affected. The World Bank warns that over half of Gaza's population, including vulnerable groups like children and the elderly, is on the brink of famine. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes killed at least 104 Palestinians and left 162 others wounded within the past 24 hours. Ex-President Donald Trump is accusing Jewish Democrats of hating their religion and Israel. He also claimed that any Jewish person who votes for Democrats hates Judaism. Trump made the remarks during an interview with radio host Sebastian Gorka, who served as deputy assistant to the president under Trump. This is not the first time the ex-president has made such remarks. He has previously suggested disloyalty among Jewish Democratic voters. Trump also said in the interview that he was amazed at how many people are marching for Palestine, and Democrats see them as potential voters. The CEO of the pro-Israel Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, criticized Trump's comments, calling them defamatory and false. The Biden campaign compared Trump's comments to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler and condemned Trump's rhetoric. Approximately 70% of American Jews lean towards the Democratic Party. A majority of them disapprove of Trump's presidency, according to a 2020 Pew survey. Ex-President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is supporting the illegal displacement of Gaza civilians as a strategy for the region. Kushner spoke of relocating Palestinians from the densely populated city of Rafah to Egypt or Israel's Negev desert. Critics are calling his suggestion an endorsement of ethnic cleansing. Such a move is also described as forcible transfer in international law, which is illegal. Kushner's stance could offer a glance at U.S. policy on Gaza if Trump is reelected in November. Kushner, who influenced Middle East policy under Trump's presidency, has also noted the economic potential of Gaza's coastal areas. He claimed that if vacated, these parts of Gaza could be valuable. His statements come shortly after Trump urged Israel to finish the problem in Gaza, with Kushner's comments amplifying this directive. Senator Chris Van Hollen has vehemently refuted Israel's claims that the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency, or UNRWA, is linked to Hamas. Calling it flat-out lies, he says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is seeking to dismantle the agency. Israel has accused 12 UNRWA employees of involvement in the October 7th attack, but has presented no concrete evidence. Van Hollen argues that Netanyahu aims to hinder Palestinian aspirations for statehood. The U.S. and other nations have suspended funding for the agency, which Van Hollen says will result in dire consequences for Gaza, which the UN says is on the brink of famine. The senator is also urging compliance with the Foreign Assistance Act to halt military aid to Israel if humanitarian aid to Gaza is obstructed. A federal appeals court late Tuesday night put Texas's controversial immigration law back on hold. The order came hours after the Supreme Court had cleared the way for the state to begin enforcing the measure. Rights advocates are criticizing the Supreme Court's decision to let Texas enforce the new law, which grants state and local authorities power to detain and deport undocumented immigrants. Historically, the Supreme Court has considered immigration a federal matter. After Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed the bill in December, the national and state ACLU joined the Texas Civil Rights Project in filing a lawsuit. The Department of Justice has also argued that the Texas law is flatly inconsistent with federal law in all its applications, and it is therefore preempted on its face. The Council on American Islamic Relations is applauding the resolution of a lawsuit in Kentucky relating to the violation of a Muslim woman's rights to hijab. The woman was allegedly forced to remove her head cover and subjected to a strip search live stream at Warren County Regional Jail. CARE had filed a lawsuit on her behalf. The civil rights organization this week confirmed the removal of the woman's photo from the jail's public database. It is also emphasizing the importance of protecting religious rights in correctional facilities. CARE legal fellow Aya Beydoun says she hopes the case will lead to policy changes across the United States. X suspends Harvard Islamic Studies program account. Details after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Social media platform X has suspended the account of the Harvard Islamic Studies program. The company is claiming that the account was involved in spam and manipulation, which prompted the February 22nd suspension. But program executive director Harry Bastarmajian has expressed concern that the move was potentially influenced by Islamophobia or racism. He emphasized the account's non-political nature and its role in scholarly discourse, academic outreach, and dialogue. The suspension affects around 7,000 followers and has led to discussions among peer institutions. Despite appealing the decision on March 8th and receiving confirmation of its receipt, the program has not received further communication from X. Schools across the U.S. are finding ways to support Muslim students who are observing the Ramadan fast. One is offering other activities during lunchtime, as is being done by public schools in Dearborn, Michigan, which has one of the largest Arab Muslim communities in the country. In St. Paul, Minnesota, the East African Elementary Magnet School does something similar for its Muslim students, who are mostly of Somali background, offering supervised activities in the library. Maha Al-Junaidi is executive director of the Islamic Networks Group, which provides resources to help school districts understand and accommodate Muslim faith traditions. She says fasting students may need to be excused from strenuous activities in gym class. She adds that they should also be allowed to make up for tests missed due to absence to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr holiday, marking the end of Ramadan. U.S. intelligence officials are acknowledging concerns that TikTok's alleged threat to national security is largely speculation. Leaders of the FBI, CIA, and the Director of National Intelligence say that despite fears of Chinese influence, there is no proof of coordination between TikTok and Beijing. They made the statements in interviews and testimony to Congress. Critics have raised concerns that TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is potentially susceptible to Beijing's influence. They also say the Chinese government may use it to manipulate public opinion, collect mass data on Americans, and even spy on individual users. TikTok has denied sharing U.S. user data with China and says it would not do so if asked. Assistant Secretary of State Donald Lu on Wednesday described allegations against him by former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan as a conspiracy theory, lie, and complete falsehood. Speaking before a subcommittee of the U.S. House Committee on Foreign Affairs, he said the allegations over the last 2 years have led to regular death threats against him and his family. Lu is the American diplomat whose warning to former Pakistani ambassador to the U.S., Asad Majid, was the subject of a classified cable message sent by the envoy to Islamabad. This is the same document Khan says is proof that there was an alleged U.S. conspiracy to oust his government in 2022. The U.S. has refuted the allegations as baseless. Khan is currently on trial for mishandling the same confidential document. Malaysia's Minister for Religious Affairs is calling for calm after socks featuring the word Allah led to backlash. Muhammad Naeem Mukhtar has emphasized the sanctity of the word Allah, which is the Arabic term for God used largely by Muslims. He has vowed to investigate the incident, with Deputy Home Minister Shamsul Anwar Nasara warning of fines or imprisonment for those responsible. Muslims consider placing the name of God on or near feet, such as on socks and shoes, religiously offensive. The socks were found in a number of KK Supermart stores. The convenience store chain apologized, blaming the vendor for the oversight. The owner of the vendor company, Xinjiang Chang, says the socks were imported from China, admitting that his staff overlooked and did not inspect each of them. The United Malays National Organization has called for a boycott and further actions against KK Supermart. The world's first 3D printed mosque has been inaugurated in Saudi Arabia. It spans 5,600 square miles in the Al Jawhara suburb of the city of Jeddah and was completed in 6 months. The mosque features unique minarets and is designed to integrate natural light, blending traditional Islamic architecture with contemporary techniques. It marks an important technological milestone for the country, positioning it as a hub of global innovation. The project also underscores Saudi Arabia's commitment to its 2030 vision, which aims at fostering innovation and economic diversification. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Salam and good night.